Okay, I don't know if you guys hear this. Obviously, the stream is starting in 32 minutes, 27 seconds. But just getting ready because I have no idea if things are going to work. Let me know if you hear my voice in the chat. I am watching the chat, but I also need to kind of eat something before the stream. If you guys hear this, obviously the stream is starting in 32 minutes, 27 seconds. But just getting ready because I have no idea if things are going to work. Let me know if you hear my voice in the chat. I am watching the chat. So people are already wondering about what mount is in the foreground. I'd be very surprised if you know the brand. I sure didn't. It's on loan for me, but I'll get back more to it during the stream itself. Uh, it is not Warp Astron. It is not Umi. It is not ZW. It is something else probably. Whew, only 1 minute to go, so let's test that the audio is working. Hopefully it is. I'm looking at the chat. The chat seems to be working. Hello from Saudi Arabia. Wow, we really have a lot of countries here. Welcome, welcome. Hello from Greece. Hello, I am a 14-year-old astrophotographer, and you help me a lot. Yes, that is awesome. Noba Koshop Metamorphosis. Is that? That sounds like the Harry Potter magic incantation. First person view Astro, hello from Auckland, New Zealand. We have people from Europe, from New Zealand, from Australia, and some brave people in the US just woken up getting ready for work. Oh man, I feel for you guys. And from Thailand too, so 7 seconds yet, so I guess I should soon get ready. I hope my webcam will work. Let's see. Here we are. It's not super good quality, I'm sorry about that. But the sound, yeah, I guess we can make it work. Let's see. Let me see what's happening to me. Can I see the chat? Yes, I can see the chat. This is awesome. We have Thailand, we have New Zealand, we have Australia, we have various countries in Europe. We have Maryland, USA, super early. It's like, what, 6:45 a.m.? Yes, it should be 6:45 a.m. Germany, Spain. Hello, sir. Can you elaborate me how to determine my seeing condition? That's actually a difficult question. That's actually difficult. I'll get back to it. Okay, the sound is good. This is great news because I'm testing out new microphone, which is this thing here. This is a DJI mic. I bought it thanks to my Patreon supporters and channel members. You guys are awesome. And it's like wireless to this little thing here. And yeah, it seems to be working. In theory, it has 250 meters range. So when I jump out to the balcony, because I'll need to, because my mounts are not even polar aligned yet, I should be able to keep talking to you while doing so. Sébastien, hello, bonjour, bonsoir, bonjour, c'est bonjour. Il est quelle heure en France là? Il est, je sais pas, midi 45, j'imagine, peut-être. Yeah, sorry, I'll keep it English. Don't worry, guys. I can do Japanese too. Oh, Cambodia, Hunter, that's awesome. Poland as well. Okay, so. What is the plan for today? The plan for today, and India, of course, I think the election in India is just over now, right? Must have been an intense period. And another young astrophotographer from CN. CN is Cloudy Nights or China or something else? Sorry if it's completely off base. Okay, so what is the purpose of this stream? We want to do some astrophotography, and my hope, I mean, we have a couple of hours worth of clear weather that I'm sure of. So let's see, will this work? Okay, you can see this window, you can see this window, you can see a lot of things. So, okay, here we go. So basically for today, if I look at my usual website, which is, what is it? Super Sea Weather. Which is a Japanese website with like the Japanese predictions. I don't hear your microphone. Do people hear me? Please confirm in chat. Oh, I hope people hear me. We have one report from Hunter that he doesn't, or they don't hear me. Yeah, so. This is like the weather forecast for tonight in terms of the clouds, and we are roughly here. So, okay, great, you can hear me. This is awesome. So we are roughly here. So you see, if we look at this, this is a hole that is black, so no clouds. 9 p.m., 10 p.m. starts to be bad. So we don't have a lot of time. It is currently 7:50 p.m. here in Japan. So I'm hoping to take advantage of that. Sorry for the weird ads on the left. Okay, we have the camera here, And so what I want to do is I'm actually testing two new mounts. So if you look on my rooftop, you have this setup here. This is my dual scope Frankenscope. And we have a mount here. So it's actually a mount that I am testing. I was contacted by a brand that I had never heard of, but basically they told me they were trying to make the Rolls-Royce of strain wave gear mounts. Okay then, so we're gonna test it. This is actually going to be the mount's first light tonight. So we shall see. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Sorry, I saw the joke in the chat. Sorry if I'm a bit late on the joke, but yeah, the IT crowd maybe. I like that series. Going back to the mount, it is from a company called EMCAN, E-M-C-A-N, EMCAN Astro, and this is the EM31 Pro. I haven't used it yet, so this is going to be the first time. The tripod is also from them. Don't worry guys, I still have my WD-20 from Warp Astron, and it's gonna go back once I've finished reviewing this mount because that one is on loan. The mount in the background with the red cat on top is the Umi 17 Lite. And I don't know what's up with Umi, but I get tons and tons and tons and tons of comments whenever people get a sniff of potentially me featuring a Umi mount. So there seems to be a big fan base. So yeah, it's very interesting. Let's see. So we have the first light for the Umi mount in the background. We have the first night for the EMCAN mount in the foreground. Also, the red cat, I haven't used it in ages, and I'm using it with an OAG that I haven't focused, so that's not gonna work. Both mounts need to be polar aligned. You can see I am well prepared. Okay, let me go back to my own scene just so I can see the chat, see if there's any questions for now. Let's see. So Hunter is back with the audio, that's great. Junior Osicat, what does your wife think of a new mount? My wife doesn't need to know about a new mount, does she now? Yeah. The MCAT looks a lot like the standard Umi 17. Trust me, it's very different. Like the polar alignment does not require locking knobs. So you just polar align without locking knobs. I haven't tested it yet, so we'll see. And yes, I am going to try to image with both of the newts at the same time. And yes, it is already getting towards the night in Tokyo. This is because Japan is exactly at solar time. So you get the same number of hours of daylight before noon and afternoon, whereas for most countries, it's actually there's a delay of 1 or 2 hours to get more light in the evening. That's not the case in Japan. In the middle of summer, the sun rises in some of the worst places at around like 3:40 a.m. So it gets bright at like 3 a.m. It's a bit crazy. How much is the focal length of the Frankenscope? So actually the focal length is roughly the same for both scopes, and they're just running in parallel. They don't add to one another. So one of the scopes is around 520 millimeters, the other is 580 millimeters. Yeah, high clouds in Wakayama. Yeah, right now we are in a hole in the clouds here in Tokyo. Okay, so with that said, what I'm going to do now is I will take I have a laptop here. Hopefully you can see it. This laptop shows me the chat. The chat is delayed by 40 seconds, so I will not be able to react quickly. But my plan is to go to the balcony and do an initial polar alignment using both the ASIAir on one side and Nina on the other side. So we'll see. We'll see if that works. So for that, to do that, what I will do is get back to this scene. I'm gonna remove the starting in stuff. Boop. There we go. So now you should be seeing this scene, and I'm going to go on the balcony and we'll test whether the audio will actually keep working. Let me know in the chat if you do not hear me anymore. Okay, I'm going there, guys. Whew. We'll see if it all works out, because this is a seat of my pants kind of thing. Okay, so climbing the 2 floors that I need to climb from my main imaging, processing computer to the rooftop. And reaching the balcony now. Okay, so hopefully you can still hear me and you'll be able to see me. It's chilly here. I'm still in my t-shirt, but it's kind of chilly. So let's see what's happening. Yes, awesome. My voice drops in volume, but can you still hear me okay despite the volume drop? Hopefully that's the case. Okay, so I'm on the balcony and I don't see too many clouds. We have some clouds in the southern horizon, which is 45%. Okay, you know what? What I'll do is I'll go back to the computer, try to change that setting and see what happens. I'll be right back. Still talking though. Hopefully we can figure it out. Maybe it's just something to do with the distance, or maybe it had to do with, I don't know. Unfortunately, this is the first time I do this. So now you guys are making me like do my exercise for today. So that's good. That's good. That's weird. So you're saying that on this scene, the volume is higher than on that scene. That's right? Let me open up the chat again just so I can see. Yeah, I'm not sure how to remove those green squares. Probably an option in the app, so okay. You know what? I'm gonna share my screen with you guys since I'm on the computer, and this here is BlueStacks. So how can we make sure that we have the motion detector off? Anyone knows about how to? Let's see. More motion tagging. There we go. Yes, so now it should be off. Let's try this again. Okay, awesome. This looks like it might possibly work. Sorry, we're getting a huge echo of stuff there. I'm going back to myself. There we go. Phew. Awesome. Okay, I'll go back to the rooftop. You guys make me climb stairs. This is good for my cardiovascular health. That's perfect. And Walter Lewis, I was using my Daystar Chromosphere. Yeah, okay, the sound dropped a little, but if you can hear me, I think it's gonna be enough. Otherwise, yeah, I think people hear me. Yeah, sound quality is a little worse, but fine, but that's good. I think like we have quite a little bit of distance and many walls between the microphone and the receiver. How did I get an ad in the middle of a live show? Oh, come on, YouTube. Oh, I'll have to check the settings later. This covering a lot of stuff. Okay, so I'll go back to the balcony. Gorilla Cos, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining from Greece. I'll be on the balcony. No, first I need to set the scene for the camera. We're back on the camera scene. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yes, absolutely. Is there a benefit to putting an OAG way up the imaging train? Oh yeah, I think I kind of replied to you, Marcus, earlier. But while I climb up the stairs again, let me actually check that my view is set on the balcony view. Yes, it looks like it's fine. So what I'll do is, so the OAG, basically what like typically you have 55 millimeters of back focus. So it's just your filter wheel or filter drawer plus OAG plus the camera flange to sensor distance. You're at 55 millimeters. So you don't really have a choice. You want to put your filters as close as possible to the camera as possible. So it will be OAG filter and then the camera. But if you have more back focus than that, if you put the OAG too close to the telescope, you might have trouble getting the guide camera in focus. Okay, so the sound drops because of distance. That could make sense. Hopefully you can still hear me. And okay, so, and yes, you will have some weird delay between the sound and the camera because that's how things are. Okay, great. So let's keep going. So what I want to do is first polar alignment, maybe with my ASIair. It's quite windy though, so let me know. Yeah, the sound is a little muted outside, but it's also super windy, so it could be like an anti-wind kind of stuff. So I need to launch the ASIair app. Obviously, I won't be able to. Okay, it's generally fine. It breaks down due to the distance. The drop is more about the acoustics of being a room via versus outside. And maybe what I can try to do is actually put the mic kind of like the inside of my shirt, so that I hear the wind less. Yeah, it's definitely wind. Okay, so let me try something. It should be a bit more muffled now, but probably not much wind anymore. So we'll see. Let me know what is better. Use a pop filter. I don't know what that is. Okay, enter device. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the ASIair. The levels are fine. Occasional wind noise. That's fair. And hopefully, yes, I see my ASIair. And we're going to try the polar alignment with the ASIair. By the way, if anyone has any questions for me about anything related to astrophotography or anything else, let me know. I'm checking the chat. The chat that I'm checking right now a bit delayed, but yeah, should work. So now I am kneeling in front of my mount, connected, and I need to learn how to use the ASIair again because I have no idea where the polar alignment is. Okay, I see it now. So, can you use this telescope to see Tokyo in great detail? Yes, I mean, I could also, use this telescope to do some peeping because there are some buildings in the distance, and that's actually a problem for me. I do my best to make sure that no one would ever feel worried that I'm spying on them. And it's actually a real worry for me. I don't want to have to make people feel uncomfortable. So I make sure never to point my my scopes at the city itself. Aha! I see there, Hunter. That makes sense for the pop filter part. Okay, so now I'm using the red channel and have the air up there. Okay. I have the ASIair on top. Why have you changed to the 150 millimeter Newt instead? Ah, come on, Nigel, you're hurting me there. Yeah, this is something I've been asked quite a lot. The initial what's the name? Yeah, I already used a dead kitten on the mic, but yeah, the Vixen R200SS was an excellent scope. And when I was in an astro kind of slump, I sold off all of my equipment like an idiot. And the R200SS was a victim, and I've been regretting it ever since. It's an excellent telescope, especially in Japan, right? So yeah, I regret that. Polar alignment, preparation, set up the scope and mount as shown. So I think I need to tell the mount to go home because it started tracking immediately when it was connected. Let's see. Wind does usually make strong consonant-like sounds though, so it could use both. Yeah. So right now, I've put the microphone basically in my shirt pocket, and my shirt pocket should help with the wind. There's also a dead cat, poor dead cat, on top of the mic. Have you ever tried IR astrophotography with an IR pass filter? So the closest I've done is using the IDAS GNB filter. The IDAS GNB filter, it's a filter that passes H alpha, oxygen 3, but also a lot of IR past 750 nanometers. And it works really well with cameras like, I believe, the 585 that does pass a lot of that IR light. And it works quite well on galaxies to get more signal to noise ratio with some drawbacks as well. But I've never tried like pure near IR imaging. If I want to do pure near IR imaging, I can download some images with the proper filters from our space telescopes for that, but not personally. Yeah, maybe okay. Since how many years are you in astrophotography? Tarek, the live started actually like for reals 20 minutes ago, and there was just like a period of waiting before that. Stark, since how many years are you into astrophotography? This is a very good question. I think 14 years, something like that, is the first time that I connected a telescope to a camera. At the time, it was a Meade LT6 telescope, which was an alt-az kind of visual scope. Okay, so I'm still wanting to do my polar alignment. The mounts there, this one is Umi, the one in the background there. And the one in the foreground is actually from a brand called MCAN. Yeah, it's the first time I use it. It's also rated up to 15 kilograms, and the scopes that I have on top are roughly 15 kilograms, so I'm being evil with it. I have never used it before. Okay, so I am going to hopefully do the polar alignment with the red cat on the UMI 17 Lite behind me. Yes, Tarek, you definitely have hope in your borderline. There is always. And Moreno, greetings from Spain. Oh, sorry, there's a lot of wind, so you might hear some wind noise. Any tips for Star Adventurer GTI? So I have actually never used the Star Adventurer GTI, so I have no tips, except that it's probably possible to adjust the meshing between the worm and gear of both declination and right ascension axes. I don't know for sure, but there must be some tutorials about that. And by adjusting the meshing, if you do it in a careful manner, you should be able to reduce the backlash of your mount, and that can be important, especially in declination, so that you get better guiding for declination. The problem is if you overdo it, then you could have some parts of the rotation that would be basically binding, where the gears and the worm kind of get stuck on one another. So Hunter, have you done any IR astrophotography? So I've kind of already answered that with the GNB filter. And Lee, hello Cuiv. Do you have a 360-degree view from your balcony, or are you direction limited? So actually, in this direction here, I have the entrance to my rooftop, and that's maybe a 3-meter high wall, basically. And it's from me right now, it's a couple of meters away. So I don't have 360 degrees. I probably have roughly 240 degrees of open horizon, which is already pretty good. Okay, I'll get back to your questions, because as you see, the Umi is, I'm doing the polar alignment. This is a very busy chat. I love it. I love it, guys. Keep asking the questions. So I need to move the mount to the left by 3 degrees and refresh, and we'll see what happens. So while I'm waiting for the refresh, CNOT, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Then we have what is the focal length and f-stop of the Newtonian. So the focal lengths for both are around 520 and 580 with focal ratio of 8 f3.5 to 8 f3.8 currently. Okay, I am getting close to good alignments. Sorry, I'm doing the alignment at the same time. This is a weird stream, isn't it? I'm sorry about that. So I should lower the mount and move it to the right. And refresh. Okay, let's look at the questions. Do you prefer any of these train wave mounts you use at the moment to the AM5? And if so, why? So the AM5, it's an excellent mount. But right now, my go-to, pun intended, mount for photography is the Warp Astron WD-20. It's just been an excellent workhorse, and the guiding performance is unfailing. It's an amazing mount. The two mounts that I have here, I've never used them before this stream. I've actually tested a little bit the Umi, but yeah, it's okay. Do you get much flexor between the dual newts? For now, no, actually. So it's actually pretty good, and I think it's because I used a Losmandy style bar between the two scopes, which is really good. Would you say the coma corrector is a must-have for the Skywatcher 150p and a 0.5-inch sensor? I don't know. I don't know. I've never tried it without the coma corrector, so I can't answer that. Yeah, the sky is bright. Just be glad you didn't have the winds I had last night, 60 miles per hour. Yeah, we had that or similar last weekend with the typhoon coming nearby. Love your simple explanations of not so simple astrophotography concepts. Is the reason you mainly do color cameras because you are lazy? Yeah, roughly, yeah. I think at the very start of the channel I was using a monochrome camera, but I've stopped doing so since because, I don't know, color was just more convenient for me at the time, and I didn't want to bother with filters and filter wheels that much anymore. The mic is over the proprietary DJI system, so it's neither Wi-Fi or Bluetooth that I'm aware of. Okay, well, hopefully it's gonna keep working. I need to finish this polar alignment. So give me a second to finish the polar alignment. I'm refreshing. I'm using the ASIAir on this particular mount. And I need to lower it. Okay, refresh. Okay, and I have 1 degree to the right. So that should be roughly this. So sound better in the chair. So maybe just by moving a little bit more like that, there's more obstacles between the mic and the receiver. The land of the two-legged potatoes. Okay, what's happening? Good audio in chair. Okay, I'll finish this this adjustment, and then we'll get better audio soon. Bear with me. Yeah, don't forget to like. Don't forget to like, people. Like the stream. Make sure people know about the stream. Like it. Of course, super thanks are welcome. No, you do whatever you want. Okay, I'm still getting better. We're getting close. we are getting close with this mount adjustment. We're 26 arc minutes away for now. Any idea on how to get the ASIAir to do a successful plate solve with an SCT? No, you can't. I'm not even like really joking there. It's kind of a limitation of the ASIAir. Let me lock the screws. We are roughly polar aligned, and with the locking mechanism in, we'll see how much we've moved the polar alignment by locking, roughly by 10 arc minutes. Oh, that's hard. It's the wedge might not work. But okay, this one is polar aligned. I'm back in the chair for a little bit. Whew. Back in the chair. Hopefully the audio will be better. Yeah, so the ASIAir, the thing with plate solve and the ASIAir is that the ASIAir needs to have basically the plate solve dictionaries, or the index of the stars that are in the sky. And when we're talking about indexes or indices like that, you have different zoom levels, right? So if you know you're going to use a small refractor, you only need like a fairly wide zoom, effectively. But if you have an SCT, you need those dictionaries at a much higher zoom level. And of course, that means much more data, because you're zooming in more, you need more stars, more information. And it's like going from, like if you're doing it on a PC, from a few hundred megabytes to several gigabytes, or even tens of gigabytes, depending on the zoom level you need. So the ASIAir, I'm not sure which zoom level it has set up effectively for those plate solving indices, but I've heard that it has this issue with SCTs. I'm not sure what I'm going to target tonight yet, Kokoro-san. Right now, I've just polar aligned the mount there behind me, which is connected to the ASIAir. I'm actually going to make the scope go home, and this ASIAir is connected to my Wi-Fi network. So hopefully we should be able to control it even when I'm back at my desk. Yes, this is the UMI 17 Lite mount. Interesting brand. So you were able to plate solve even at 2250 millimeters with a C6. 2250. What did you put to get 1.5 Barlow? It's interesting. Oh, and what I want to do also with the mount that I have behind me is I want to make sure that I can see that the guide camera is roughly in focus. So I'm going to go back to my preview, to the guide camera, and take guide exposures. And this is because I'm using an OAG for the first time with the guide camera. And so I'm wanting to see whether I can see that. So Peter, going to SPIE in Yokohama next week. Can you tell me what is SPIE? I don't know what that is. So that probably means no. And oh, Kokoro-san, we have a donation. Is that Myanmar? What is that currency? MYR. 6 MYR. No, Malaysian ringgit. Okay, Malaysian ringgit. Thank you so much, Kokoro-san. This is awesome. So that's so cool. We have a hello everyone from Pear. Hello Pear, or whatever the correct pronunciation is. I'm gonna try and get this camera to see some stars. So this is my guide cam, and this is on LG that I'm using for kind of like the first time, I think, with my Red Cat. So by the way, like what I used to do for, or what I usually do for OAG cameras is instead of using like directly a focuser or that kind of stuff, I just slide them in and out slowly until I hope I see stars. And right now, it's not being super successful. We shall see, we shall see. Let's see, while I am pulling a camera in and out of this OAG, do I have other questions? Greetings from Trinidad, Cuiv. First time catching your live stream. Woo! That's awesome. SPIE, astronomical telescopes and instrumentation. Dang, I had not heard of that at all. I will need to Google it later. And guys, I'm not getting any stars in my OAG. So I'm hoping I'll see something one day. But then the sky is still pretty bright. Maybe I should go back to it later. And yeah, I mean, this thing is like, this is the first clear skies that I've had in like 2 or 3 weeks. And ideally, I should have just like, you know, taken that time to just adjust things on my own. But I decided, like an idiot, to do a live stream because I'm not very smart like that. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna do something else. I'm going to use Nina to hopefully do the polar alignment of the other mount. Hopefully we'll be able to actually do some imaging in this session. And also, I'm going to try and go to somewhere with this telescope here. Just hopefully we have like less light pollution. Guys, can someone tell me if there's an ISS pass that's what's supposed to happen over Japan? There is an unblinking light, very bright, that is just passing through. It is not a plane, it is not blinking, and it looks very much like an ISS pass. Let me know. I'm sorry you cannot see it, but there's what does not appear to be a plane above head. Okay, so for now, I'm going to Nina, so you can't see it right now, but once I'm back inside, we'll be able to look at it together. I'm connected to my remote computer that is on top of the dual barrel scope, the Frankenscope that everyone knows and loves. Yes, definitely aliens. Definitely aliens, guys. I need to check like ISS transit. ISS transit finder. ISS transit finder. Here we are. So you cannot see what I'm doing, but don't worry about it. I'm just going to see if there was any transit here in Tokyo. Boop. Shouldn't I be able to? Oop. Okay, this is not working. Never mind that. I'm going to go back to Nina. What we want to do is to do polar alignment of this mount here. And I'm sorry for the wind. We're getting quite a bit of wind here. Okay, so I'm currently connecting everything in Nina, connecting the camera and connecting the mount. And let me see, what do we have in the chats? ISS is above the Atlantic at the moment, so definitely aliens. Aliens confirmed. Can I use Skywatcher 50 ED for deep sky? Yes, yes, you can. Absolutely. There's even a flattener that's sold by Starizona for the Skywatcher 50 ED. Hello, Silhouette. And Iowa, USA. Hello, William. William is in the house. I'm so sorry about that. William. I know you've heard it a lot of times before, but I could not resist. William House in the house. The wind is not affecting your voice. That is good news. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, for people joining midway there, this is, I probably had a terrible idea there because this is the first clear night that I've had in ages. And neither of my telescopes are properly set up yet. So I'm trying to set them up while doing a live stream, which is, I think we can say this is a terrible, terrible idea. But yeah, why not try to have a little bit of fun while we're at it? And I am connecting the on-step mount, so that mount for the Frankenscope here. And now I'm going in Nina to the polar alignment, 3-point polar alignment. And hopefully, fingers crossed that it's gonna work. Yes, the mount is moving. This is good news. Then we have, where's the Stellar Mate? Was battling with mine last night. All your fault. I'm so sorry about that. No, the Stellar Mate is still there. The problem with the Stellar Mate is that now that I have this dual barrel scope, I cannot use the Stellar Mate to do synchronized dithering between the two scopes. And so I have to use Nina. And the Stellar Mate was already on top, so I'm using it as a power provider to Nina, to the PC, to everything at once. What is the mount? It is not the Warp Astron. Don't worry, I still have the Warp Astron. The Warp Astron is coming back right after I finish testing this mount. I love the WD-20. And capturing new image to solve. We're not getting solved because we're out of focus, apparently. Ooh, I really am flying by the seat of my pants here. Let's see. We're gonna take a 5-second exposure. Let me look. So just to be clear, this mount to the back, to the background is an UMI 17 Lite mount that I have for review. This mount is a completely unknown brand called MCAN Astro. Did you check the cable for the OAG? Yeah, I can see images, like I can see noise from the OAG, so that should not be the issue. Ah, interesting. The 50 ED for visual is not worth it. That's good to know. This is weird. I must be completely out of focus because I'm not seeing any stars in there. And yes, confirmed, I am completely out. I don't know how that happened. Fortunately, my focuser has a manual clutch, so I can move back to in focus fairly easily. Yeah, focus should be about there. Then I can close back the clutch of the focuser and try again. And hopefully I'll be able to focus the scope enough that we can do some polar alignment. In the meantime, I'll tell the mount to go back home. There, mount is going back home while I will be testing for the focus. Yes, my stars are almost in focus, and that's going to be good enough for plate solving. So the yeah, again, Jean Rosé. So the mount is called the MCAM EM31 Pro. It is a loaner mount that I have for review. It's a very interesting thing, and I'm being very evil with it today because it's really at its max rated payload. The Warp Astron will come back on the balcony later. The Warp Astron right now, probably my favorite mount ever. It's been working incredibly well. Oh, stream, heck yeah, this one. Hello, this one. Welcome to the stream. Currently, I'm trying to make the various scopes that I have on the balcony work. And that is the reason, by the way, that I don't like that much having too many scopes and mounts to deal with, because it adds up so much workload. And I feel like I have to make them work, right? Which is can be a bit difficult on the mental health. Especially when there's like a single clear night, first time in a couple of weeks, maybe more, and then I won't have another clear night for quite a while. And actually, this clear night is only a clear couple of hours. Whew. Okay, we're getting closer and closer to focus. Cheap Astro, hello Cuiv, hello everybody, hello. Oh, this is so fun. Oh, and I'm looking at the top chat only. Why? I had set it up to live chat. What is happening? Whew. But it's still okay. Greetings from Poland, from Kaczmarek, maybe. Nigel, you are doing a great job of it. Thank you so much. Stark Expo, someday please review Celestron Origin. Ah, the Celestron Origin. Yeah, the Celestron Origin. I don't know what to do about that thing. I don't know that I want to review it because that's the thing. When I review something, I get tons of requests from manufacturers to review their stuff. And I reject most of them. And I review the stuff that I know people will be interested in, or that I know there's something special about it, right? So this mount there, the MCAN Astro, why I accept it is because it has a different way of doing polar alignment than some other mounts. And also they promised it was a super high quality mount. So I'm testing it. This Umi Lite, a lot of people have been asking me to review Umi, and it was a good opportunity to test it out. It's a super light mount, etc., etc. So why not? The problem with the Celestron Origin is that the images that I've seen from both directly Celestron and their marketing materials, and also there's another YouTuber, I don't remember the channel name, that has had access to the Celestron Origin, and the images just didn't look any better than like the S50. And so I don't know that I want to spend the time to review the Celestron Origin, or maybe what? Guys, what? I wasn't looking at the chat. What is happening? This one, 99.99. Oh man. Thank you so much. At the same time, I feel so sorry. Oh man, thank you so much. I'm irresponsible, but love your content and your videos. Always is something to look forward to and to learn from. A round of applause. Oh man, that is amazing, guys. Oh man, this one, you are the man. And while we're doing that, by the way, Nina is doing this 3-point polar alignment without asking anything, and I am a measly 8 degrees off polar alignment. 8 degrees, not a big deal. Nothing much, guys. Nothing much. So let me try to polar align this mount. I need to move it to the right. Oh, this is going to be painful, guys. This is going to be painful. I'm going to try. Move it to the right by 8 degrees. We'll see. Move it to the right by 8 degrees. Do I even have enough room to do that? That only moved it by 1 degree. What am I going to do? Shoot. Only 1 degree? Is it that far off? Crazy. Oh yeah, but at least the adjustment is easy. But I need to move the tripod first. I need to move the tripod directly. And I have on like ooh, this is painful. Whew. Sorry guys, having trouble with the adjustment. This is the first time I do polar alignment on this mount. So yeah, it's gonna be rough. I think now that I've moved it so much, I should probably start the polar alignment from scratch because we were so far off. I'm now 3 degrees off. Let me check what you guys are saying. Wait, what? This one. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Dude, thank you again so much. This is amazing. This one, maybe I should rename the stream to this one stream. Oh man, that's awesome. So let me see the questions. I was going to ask, is it possible to use 2 main cameras with the Stellar Mate? I don't believe so. Someone can correct me. I have sympathy for you, Cuiv. Having to test out all of that kit can be a pain. Yes, that is absolutely right. So my stable setup is supposed to be the Frankenscope with the WD-20, but obviously the WD-20 is not there. Kokoro-san, while you enjoying hobby, I make sure don't get overtired. Yes, thanks so much, man. That means a lot. Bruce Mallet, curious, do you have any kind of rain detection to alert you? And hello from New Hampshire. That's awesome. No. I've been wanting to put one on, but basically, the weather forecast here is usually extremely reliable. And so, if there's any chance of rain, I simply don't use the equipment. And I've actually been burned once. My Celestron C6 Hyperstar got under the rain. This is before I dropped it and killed it. But yeah. Cuiv Lazy, did you get some mean of aligning both tubes with each other? Well, actually, this is something I might want to do in another night, but I bought at my viewers' advice, which is awesome, something called feeler gauges. And feeler gauges, they're like very thin bands of metal, tons of them, different thicknesses, and I should be able to put them in the dovetail, in the saddle, to adjust that more or less precisely. We'll see how that's going to end up. I did also try to buy an XY adjuster on AliExpress, and it arrived a couple of days ago, and it's beautiful, and it looks very solid for a refractor. For a newt, it just became wobbly, so that didn't work out. Else, this one is on fire, so that's amazing. I have to go back to work, but I'll be back if you're still on in a couple of hours. Good luck with work, Pear. How do you log the azimuth axis? How do you log the? I'm not sure. What is your target for tonight? The target for tonight is to first do the polar alignment on those two telescopes, and then I'll ask you guys for advice about what I should be capturing. Better check that chat again, Cuiv. Yeah, I know. Wait, welcome to Cuiv Lazy Geek, Wolfgang Riegler. I use a 17mm telephoto lens with 400mm of focal length. You became a member, Wolfgang? Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for joining. This is so cool. This makes the channel possible, because where people don't see, there's actually a lot of expenses going into this channel. Okay, I use a 72mm telephoto lens with 400mm of focal length. My stars have chromatic aberration, red and blue in the edges. Can I do something? Post-processing is really hard. Your best bet is probably Blur Exterminator these days, but I would probably close down the lens a little bit to try to avoid that in the first place. Hello from Sicily, Palermo, Cuiv. That's awesome. Okay, what do we have? ASIAir 120 APO. Now that is a big scope. Congratulations, CNOD. You dropped the C6? Yeah, I did. That's why it's not on my balcony anymore. I actually bought another Celestron after that, but by then I was too used to the newts, so I got that second Celestron C6, and I'm just selling it again because I have too many scopes already. So what? This one. Stop. Well, no, don't stop, but stop. But don't stop, but stop. This one gifted 20 Cuiv the Lazy Geek memberships. I didn't even, yeah, okay, this one, thank you so much. Seriously, it's amazing support. Wow. Then feeler gauges, guessing you've never gapped the spark plugs in your car. Well, fun fact, I've only really ever used electric cars, so I guess they don't have spark plugs. My car right now actually is now a non-electric car because my wife bumped, and that's saying it charitably, the car 3 times and I got sick of it. So now I got a car that is called a K car, like a light car in Japan. It's small, it doesn't have any power, it's not fun to drive, and therefore my wife will use it less. and, and for now, it's working. Um, Is that a Yumi? Clément, this is a Umi 17 Lite. Are you using Nina? If so, how much polar alignment error do you accept? Typically, anything under 10 arc minutes is fine for me. The one is the one. This is amazing. The one. You are the one. You really have this one is the one. You have a good nickname. I like your nickname. It is in sync with what you're doing. This is amazing, man. So sorry, I'm still like trying to move this this tripod 3 more degrees because at the same time I'm trying to polar align. Oh man, I love live streaming, guys. This is so weird. I love it. So let me see. Any other? What? David Anderson, 200 knock. What is knock? Norwegian something? Knock. JY. Norwegian krone. Okay. Krone. Maybe krone. I don't know. Wow, that is amazing, man. Love your vids. Have you looked at the Dwarf 3? Yes, I have looked at the Dwarf 3. I'm very interested because it looks like it could be the perfect alternative to the Sea Star while still having like somewhat of a wide field. I hope to test it at some point. What you imaging? Nothing yet. Can you do a road trip like before? Yes. You should do it more often. I plan to. So, what is my error like now? We are 2 degrees away. We're getting closer. I just need to move my... This is so much more painful than I expected. I'm so sorry about that, guys. So much more painful than I expected. I kind of need to lift the whole tripod and crawl under the scope. There we go. And is that going to be 2 more degrees? Tell me it's going to be 2 more degrees for the polar alignment. Yes, I'm doing the polar alignment. That is why I am in this weird position right now, using Nina. Hopefully we are closer to a good polar alignment. Oh no, come on, you've got to be kidding me. Now I need to move 3 degrees in the opposite direction. Come on. Oh man. Oh my gosh, so much support in this chat. This is awesome. Il est 13h40 à Paris. It is 1:40 p.m. in Paris. Laurent Philippe, why aren't you working? I'm kidding. Don't work. Watch the stream. That's why we're here. Yes, going back to the polar alignment. That's the one thing I didn't count on. I thought I would be able to like just do the polar alignment in like 10 minutes, but no, it's not happening, is it? I'm focusing too much on the stream and it is far too much fun. Oh, we're almost there. I just need to move 1 degree down. So this mount is very special in that there is no locking knobs. Well, there are, but during the adjustments, you don't need to actually, they're already locked during the adjustment. So it's a very interesting concept. Okay, on the chat, what do we see? If you... Oh, Scott Devine. What a great way to wake up this morning. Watch Cuiv go through setting up a new mount. Thanks for all you do. Woo! This is awesome. Oh, Scott, so much support in the chat. This is amazing. This is amazing. Oh man, Scott, thank you so much. It really helps the channel out. Lol, chut, écoute, quand on a la possibilité de voir le ciel de nuit à 13h40, bah ça se tente. Ah bah oui. Pause déjeuner. Okay. You are, so yeah, Laurent Philippe is joining from France, and he is on his lunch break. So, and it's the middle of the day, obviously, so being able to see the night sky, albeit the Tokyo night sky, it's always good. We're almost polar aligned, I think. I need to move down by 45 arc minutes. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. And so what's happening is I've polar aligned the mount in the background. I'm polar aligning the mount in the foreground. The problem that I have with the equipment in the background is that my OAG, I haven't been able to put it in focus, but I'll try again after I do this this polar alignment. Okay, we still need to move down. This adjustment is nice, and it is really fine. That is good. Oh. Yeah, and yeah, light pollution is great here. It's awesome. We love light pollution, don't we? And this is where you bump accidentally in your equipment while standing up. Yes, exactly, Laurent Philippe. Okay, I think it's good that you said it that way. We're not using it. Okay, move up by 2 arc minutes. I can do that. I can do that. And I need to move right by 5 arc minutes. We're almost there. Oh, this is good. Let's see how the polar alignment is progressing. Normally I'd be done like in 5 minutes, but because it's so fun to be interacting with y'all that it's like it's taking me forever. At the same time, I apologize because that's probably not what you wanted to see, but yeah, that's, I guess, how it is, how things are. Dang, those polar alignment adjustments are smooth as butter. What? We have another? What is happening? So Busload UK, Busload UK. I love that name. I love that name, Busload UK. 4.99 pounds. Thanks for being instrumental in my newly found hobby of astrophotography. That's awesome. Due to your review of the Dwarf 2 Clear Sky, it's so cool. I know there's a lot of people who don't like the Dwarf 2 because, yes, in a way, it's kind of a toy, but it's such an amazing introduction to the hobby. And same with the Sea Star. What I really liked about the Dwarf 2 is that it's very easy to put in equatorial mode if you want to go a bit further. And that's why I'm really looking forward to Dwarf 3. So it's really good. Okay. And 10 Hong Kong dollars from Nock. We also have Nock is doing some marketing. Nock is a spy from Umi, actually. And they have the Umi 17R ready for you. Let me breathe a little bit, Nock, before I go and test the Umi 17R. Whew, whew, whew. I still need to move my scope right. Oh, this is so much fun, guys. Okay, let's see. Oh, but Nock, seriously, thanks so much for the support. This is awesome. Yeah, and yeah, the sky in Tokyo is at the best. Plus, I see some clouds approaching, so I hope our session will not end with just polar alignment, but we shall see. And Jack Hayden, whoo, awesome stream. Have you ever run into issues with using one set of flats for multiple nights of imaging if you don't change your setup? So, first, Jack, thank you so much for the support. This is amazing. This is I'm getting a bit overwhelmed, guys. So like down a notch, stop donating for a bit. But wow, thank you so much. It really helps out. So that's awesome. And to answer your question, not when I was using filters, yes. So I'm actually kind of hoping that someday a manufacturer will do a 3-slot 2-inch filter wheel for us users who are using OSC cameras. And I can have luminance, H-alpha 03, sulfur 203, and the filter wheel is still relatively small. That's kind of like my hope. I don't know if it's realistic. Oh, people, please like the video. Yes, Stark Expo. Thank you so much, Tarek. Thanks for liking. Greetings from Switzerland. Your channel is fantastic. Dirk, thank you so much. Switzerland, I want to go there and fly my paraglider there. Switzerland, one of their banknotes has a paraglider drawing on it, and I love that. This one, don't forget to like the stream chat. This one, come on, man. You are the one. You are truly the one. That's too much, man. Come on, that's like what, 3-4 times? I've lost count. That's incredible. Complete champ. This is the this one stream by now, and I still haven't finished the polar alignment. I still have not. Okay, we're very, very close to good polar alignment. Okay, I think we should be, what I'm gonna do now is the polar alignment, and something that you may not know, but there's a warning in ENA, and it's actually the same with the ASIAir. So you should keep it in mind if you're doing polar alignment with the ASIAir as well, is if you start the polar alignment and you were off by quite a bit, let's say more than 1 degree, then after you finish the polar alignment, you want to do a second run because the accuracy to some extent depends on how far off you were at the start. So it's better to do a second run, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to tell the mount to go back to the home position. And once it's done, I'll do the polar alignment again. While we're waiting for that, I'll try to get focus on my guide camera here. Let me check the chat. This one is like, come on, you are the one. This one is the one. How can I get rid of long hot pixels around my image? So when you refer to long hot pixels around your image, I think you're talking about walking noise, which is when you have a hot pixel that basically gets across multiple exposures, or long exposure if you don't have perfect polar alignment. It basically walks across the image because the stars are being tracked by your guiding, but the pixel position in comparison to the star changes. And that's walking noise, and it's actually extremely hard to get rid of. So the best way is to have good polar alignment in the first place, and second, to dither between your exposures, because the dithering will help average out the hot pixels. But even more important than that, when you stack the sigma clipping, or the rejection algorithms will be able to remove the hot pixels because they can see they're not like lining up in all of the exposures. I won't be able to watch the stream, but I'll come back later, Cuiv, if you post it as a regular video on your YouTube channel. Thank you, and clear skies. So I think YouTube will have it automatically saved and posted in the live tab. So yeah, you should be able to access it. So I'm going to try and have my very erotic moment with the guide cam there, pulling it in and out of the OAG tube. I'm sorry, I'm pulling a Dylan O'Donnell here, but we'll see if I can make it work. How do I even change the guide cam settings on the ASIAir? Oh, there you go. I'll increase the gain. I'll put it to high. Yeah, high. There's a pre-setting for high. Okay. That will help. Calibration and correction. Ah, I see a star. Star. So does it get better or worse? Better. Okay. I'm able to focus the guide cam, guys. This is progress. Lorenz, the mount in the front is actually a mount that from a manufacturer I had never heard about before. And I accepted to review it because it had a unique polar alignment method. I just finished the polar alignment with it. I'll do a second run because it was very far off when I started. But you do not need to lock any knobs after you're done with the polar alignment, which is very interesting. It's called the MCAN Astro EM31 Pro. I think it's kind of only available in China right now. So yeah, we'll need to make it work. And this one is the UMI 17 Lite from Meow Astro, or Proxy Sky. I'm not sure what is the correct name these days. Oh, guys, we are in focus on the guidescope. Yes. Oh, yes. I haven't used the ASIAir in millions of years, literally. So wait, what can end? €10. Greetings from Munich. München. I've been in the Munich airport so many times. In a previous job, I used to go from Tokyo to a city in Romania called Cluj, Cluj-Napoca, which is kind of an IT center in Romania, and I always transited via München or Munich, but I never actually left the airport. So I'm so sorry about that. Can N, thank you so much for your support. This is amazing. Really helps the channel out. And what is happening? ARS Gonzalo. Many zeros. You see. First, Gonzalo, thank you so much for your support. This is amazing. I know, as you say, it's only like 5 USDs, but it's amazing nonetheless. And yes, I am still impressed by the zeros. It's like Japanese yen and Korean won. We also have a lot of zeros, and we like it. Argentine money. This is amazing. Your video to set up Windows Remote was very useful, and this live is very fun while I prepare my coffee. It's 9 a.m. here. Welcome, good morning. Enjoy your coffee. And fun fact, I'm more of a tea person, but my wife loves coffee. Allez, on retourne au boulot. Laurent Philippe is going back to work, so enjoy your work. And yeah, you can catch a glimpse of the stream anytime you like. Tim, Tim, I'll call you Tim if you don't mind. Amazing. Thanks so much for the support. 9.99. What? Tune it down a bit, guys. Like, whew. Okay, but progress updates. This mount is roughly polar aligned. When I turned the locking knob, we went off by roughly 10 arc minutes, but I think it's acceptable, especially with the Red Cat. It's actually pointed at M66 right now, but I'm not taking any exposures yet. I'll start the exposures once I'm back inside. And for now, I will just tell the mount to go back to its starting position, so the home position. And there it is. It is the UMI 17 Lite. I think the main module is around like 2.8 kilograms. And that mount, we're going to do a second pass of polar alignment with Nina, because the first pass, it started 8 degrees off. And when you are off by more than 1 degree, typically when you start your polar alignment routine with 3-point polar align, whether it is with Nina or with Stellar Mates or with ASIair, it's better to do a second run to validate your polar alignment and make it more precise. That's what I'm going to do right away with this mount. So hopefully, yes, it slews and it goes through the polar alignment. Jack Hayden, love all your video, Cuiv. Are you able to make YouTube your full-time job, or is it just for fun? So that's a very good question. I hope with your support, effectively, to make it my full-time job one day, but it is not quite possible yet. I'm doing my best. I'm really doing a lot of work on YouTube behind the scenes, and yeah, that's ideally I want to make it a full-time job, so I can, really focus on you guys, focus on the channel, and focus also on, my Patreon supporters, channel members more. And right now I have a very, very busy full-time job at a tech startup, so you can imagine it's yeah, very busy. Plus it's a tech startup that doesn't even give out stocks or options, so it's like not super worth it, but whatever. Lubo in China, thanks so much for always commenting. Welcome. Joshua Muller, live. Yes, absolutely, we are live. Tim, radio enthusiast by any chance? Oh, is that a call sign? There we go. Tim, I missed adding text, but I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate your videos as I learn in this hobby. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. I love it when I see comments that I was able to help people. It's so freaking rewarding, because there is so much work that is behind the scenes on those videos, and without obviously the support, both of financially Patreon supporters, yeah, without that support first, but also without the feedback to know that my videos are useful, I just wouldn't be doing that anymore. So that's amazing.
Lubo, yes, lots of light pollution. Uh, Joe Barbare, Joe le Barbare, I like this. Salut à toi. So Joe is in Tokyo, a bit more in the north, and with a telescope as well. That's awesome. And we have Space Rocks, and I cannot see actually the full name. Stardust, Space Rocks and Stardust. Love the name. Greetings from Canada. 5:55 a.m. Wow. Now that is dedication. 2.79 Canadian dollars. Everything helps. So thank you so much again. But guys, seriously, tune it down because so many donations. This is crazy. Um, okay, I need to. And Comer AP just joined the channel as a member. Welcome back. So welcome as a member. This one. Do you mean Lucomatico? I don't know what's happening. I cannot keep track of the chat. Let me go back to my polar alignment for a bit. So on the polar alignment news, we are actually almost 1 degree off. So you see, that's why we need to run it at the same time when you have had a big difference in polar alignment. So I need to move the mount up. Okay, so we're playing with the polar alignment. Let me look. Okay, I'll catch up with the chat in a bit. Noba Koshop Metamorphosis. Thank you, Cuiv. You made me learn about dithering. Dither or die. That is, well, maybe not die, but like dithering is so essential. If you have a guide scope, you should be dithering. If you do not have a guide scope, there are ways to dither without a guide scope. I don't know about the ASIAir, but in Nina, a fun fact, my first contribution as a programmer, I didn't even know how to code at the time, but my first contribution to Nina was to add a blind guider. So whenever you see the option in Nina to select like a, I don't even remember the name, blind guider, that's from me originally, so that you can do basically blind dithering without needing a guide scope. Hurry up, Cuiv, clouds rolling in. Yeah, they're actually rolling in a lot from the back. I see them from the southeast. So I think we're gonna get interrupted, but it's still, I hope it's still fun for you guys. It definitely is fun for me. And I am adjusting my polar alignment. Hopefully. Hopefully this is gonna work. Okay. Back to the chat. Are you participating sometime in some meetup in Tokyo? So this is a tough one because I might not look like it, but I'm a huge introvert. Even like close friends, they have trouble getting me out to go and meet them. It's really hard for me. Uh, so it's something I need to think about. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. Woohoo, this one, the blind dither was great when I first started. Well, I'm glad it was for you. It was so cool that it was my first contribution to Nina. Dither or Die is a Dylan O'Donnell t-shirt. I'm not surprised. I love Dylan. And you have a Cuiv t-shirt as well, so that's really good. And we're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay. Still playing with the polar alignment while checking the chat. And I'm so sorry that you guys are basically just looking at me setting up my scopes. Oh my word. Use a sea stars, you could already be taking pictures. So Brian, that's a good point. But okay, no, you're right. That's it. Done. Okay, melee quieter 4C, I'm back to it. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. And move down. Blind dithering without a guide scope. So yes, you can do that with Nina. There is a bigger option in Nina. If you go to the equipment tab, I'm going to have a look right now, even though you cannot see my screen. but under guider, you should have an option to select direct guider. So direct guider, the way that it works is, well, at least when I implemented it, I know that it made changes to it later on, but basically you can tell the direct guider a pulse length, like time-wise, how long you should have a guide pulse be transmitted to your mount, and it will do a random pulse between exposures. So when you have a tether command, it will send that guide pulse, and the direction of that guide pulse at the time I had built it so that statistically, if let's say one pulse had been to the left, then the next one would happen roughly to the right. Kind of. So kind of making sure that even with blind dithering, I wasn't pushing your target out of the FOV. Okay, going back to the polar alignment. Okay, we are polar aligned. Woo! And I don't need to lock any knobs because we are ready. I see clouds coming. So what I'm going to do, let me think. We are polar aligned. We are polar aligned. The guide scope, the guide camera is in focus. This guy, everything is automated, so I shouldn't have issues. Yeah, I should be able to go back inside. Let me just tell the mount to go back to its home position, just so that I feel better, and then we can keep going inside. So tell the mount to go home. There we go. This is good. This is good. We should all be all ready to go back inside. I'll have a look at the chat in a moment because I know I'm behind, but hopefully I will not have to run up the stairs again. I'll see you back inside. Okay, so going back the 2 flights of stairs down to my living room. Whew. So I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. I am enjoying it a lot. This is so much fun, guys. So let me go down and I should be back. Okay, how many viewers do we have? 170 viewers. That is absolutely insane. Let me go to... I'm back, guys. How loud is the mount? So actually, Astro Republic, the mount is extremely quiet. Both mounts were extremely quiet. I can't quantify them in decibels, but I can hardly hear them. It's not as quiet as the Warp Astron because it's not servo and it's not direct drive, but it's yeah, super quiet still. Let me plug in my computer. There it is. And then I can share my screen afterwards. Whew. We're getting there. Welcome back. Thank you, Bortle 10. Now, Bortle 10, that is crazy. Let's see. Oh, I'm missing so many comments. Someone ordered an Astro PC after checking the video. The Astro PC is great. I hope you enjoy it. Space Rocks and Stardust, I owed you at least that much for all the help over the last few years. It really means a lot knowing that I've been helping people. Hurry up, Cuiv, clouds rolling in. Oh, yes, I need to hurry up. Good afternoon from London, Corinne. How loud? Astro Republic already answered. Sébastien, salut, hello. And or both Umi know the mount in the background. Let me go to the outside camera. The mount in the background is actually Umi 17 Lite. Sorry, I had a little brain fart here. And the mount in the foreground is an unknown brand called MCAN from MCAN Astro. And I accepted to review it because it had some really interesting concepts to it. Okay, let me share my screen actually, because we can do that. And I'm going to try to connect to my remote PC. Hopefully the Wi-Fi will be working. And yes, here we are. So we are connected to Nina. So let's see, what do we want to do? We want to cool down the camera. So this is going to be the ZW ASI 2600 MC duo camera. And this is actually something that, and I make sure to turn on the dew heater. and the cooler power is increasing. So something that is very interesting with the ZW camera, to me at least, is that it takes so long to cool down. And this is, I think, to avoid thermal shock or anything like that. I kind of wish that the driver would just cool down faster and then people could use like the minimum duration, but that's something else. At the same time, I'm going to open up a second instant of Nina, and we're going to connect to the second tube of the Frankenscope. Okay, so let's see what questions am I getting. You stack your image from 2 scopes into 1. Yes, that is correct. Does that not mess with your flats? No, PDERP, it actually, I calibrate the frames per telescope first. So the frames are calibrated first with their respective flats and bias frames, for that matter. And then they are debayered, registered, and stacked. So there's no problem with the flats. Noel Rimmer, hi Cuiv, great live stream member for 14 months. Oh, that's amazing. Nina forever. Yes, I agree. So I'm there, and this one is the Taupe Tech camera, and dew heater will be on. We're gonna cool things down. Manual filter wheel. This is going to basically tell the frames and tell in the end PixInsight what filter I was using. So this is good for calibration frames. Focuser is connected, and I think that's the only 3 that I need on this second instance. That is on the scope. So, guys, now I think we are connected. I'm going to launch the guider as well. What target should I go for? I want to know. Yeah, because Corin is asking a very good question. Like, what are you imaging tonight? And I don't know. You tell me. M66 should be low on the horizon now. Where is M51? Let me have a look at the SAR Atlas. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing so many. Can you do the Orion Nebula? I don't think the Orion Nebula wants me to image it right now because it's simply not visible as far as I know. Owl Nebula. M16, how far south can you see from your location? Well, south is pretty well open, but it is really like the Eagle Nebula is super close to light polluted areas, and I currently don't have the narrowband filters. So if you don't mind, actually, I'm going to start by slewing with M51 to M51. M6, what is M6? Is anyone strongly opposed to M51? Because I see it's high up on the horizon, and M6 here, it's a bit too low for me. Butterfly cluster, I see. Tonight will mostly be the back of Cuiv's head nebula. There it is. It is beautiful in all of its glory. There you go. Yeah, Messier 51. Leo triplet is a good idea too. Okay, you know what? If you don't mind, I'll go to M51 first, see what's there. So we're just gonna, yeah, nicely slew to it for now. And hopefully if I iconize this, I can see, oh, this is so cool. Guys, this is the first time I actually make, I use this camera for the first time today. I use this microphone for the first time today, and I use basically both of those mounts for the first time today. So it is incredible that things haven't gone completely off the rails. And yes. M51 is okay. Thank you, north-facing Obzi. Okay, let me go back to Nina now that we see this, and I'm just going to quickly look at the imaging tab. We're going to go to image. I'm going to take a 1-second exposure and see what's there. What do we have? Is it beautiful? It looks like we have a little bit of clouds. Oh, we're not quite on target. M51 is there. Can you see M51 there? It is so cute. Oh, let's do a quick plate solving. I'm not starting a sequence because yeah, if you're joining, basically what I wanted to do is just get my scopes in order, and just to show you the website I use for weather for Tokyo. It's like 9:14 p.m. right, and as at 10 p.m. this little square here is me. So it's it's already getting cloudy, and it will only get worse. So I don't even want to start a sequence because it is not quite worth it, but we can still have a little bit of a look as to how it works. And also I want to see how well the guiding is going to work with that mount, and maybe the mount in the background as well, to see how well things go. Love from India, Astro Indian X for SpaceX. I love that. I have a slight allergy to galaxies, but that's mainly due to jealousy that I don't have the focal length for them. Well, you know, even with short focal length, like Markarian's chain on even like a 200mm lens, it's awesome. So not all is lost due to focal length. Black hole crater. You are one of the sincere YouTubers like Dylan, Nico, and Chuck, unlike some salesman astrophotographers. Love you, man. Love you, man. That's awesome. Love you too, and love you all, by the way. The you know Chuck is so he's so true, right? He's Chuck, right? Amazing. And Nico, I love Nico's reviews. Nico is so down to all of the details. It's something that I'm not able to do, and I'm glad we have Nico in the hobby to help with that. And of course, we have Dylan. So many details in his videos. So I really can't say I dislike any that I know of any of the YouTube astrophotographers, because they all fit a niche, a role, and they're all useful in my opinion. So it's super cool to see. Let me run an autofocus, see if it's gonna work. Boat and cigar are good for those scopes, I would think. M51 is good too. Yes. I don't know if we're doing EAA. I think I'm just going to mess with the equipment until the clouds really roll in. What part of Oklahoma? I'm outside of Tulsa. Sean Moore. What was Sean Moore saying? Sean Moore? Moore? I don't know. Next time I'll make sure to have like narrowband filters in there so we can go direct for the nebulae. Oh, Ryan, good question. How do you find the on-step go-to system of the WD-20? Once you get it dialed in, no worries at all. And also with the WD-20 home sensors, it's always very easy to go home. I think there's some issues with the ASIAir, with the homing, but with Nina, there's like no issues whatsoever, and it's been working like perfectly. It's yeah, it's on a really, really, really good mount. What's your day job, Cuiv? Ah, that is a good question. I'm a software product manager. So, but actually, I'm kind of like filling the role of an engineering manager at the same time, and a couple of other hats as well. I'm kind of doing head of support as well. It's a busy daytime job, and it's extremely stressful. So yeah, if one day I'm able to escape from the stress and be full-time on YouTube, so I can actually do more for the channel, more for my supporters, more for you guys with less stress, that would be the dream. Okay, let's see. A lot of us Okie Astro geeks in the house. So many people from Oklahoma. I was in Oklahoma not long ago. So Yeah, I love you guys. And we have a beautiful autofocus curve. How beautiful is that? Is that beautiful? Yes. Yes, it is. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's have a look at the image. And I'm going to take like a 30-second exposure. You know what? I'm going to be evil with this mount. This is a mount that I'm using for the first time. It's a strain wave gear mount. I think it uses standard steppers, so it shouldn't work well with 30-second exposures. So we're going to try to take a 30-second exposure and see how it survives or does not, because I like to torture mounts. Uh, Quiz manager, we saw your broadcast. We have some bad news. Well, the actually my company didn't know about my channel, so theoretically they could be watching this, but I am counting on the fact that one, they wouldn't be watching a live stream, and two, it's a long live stream. So even if they had like access to recording later on, they probably wouldn't notice. I don't think I have anyone from my company actually watching my videos, even though they're aware of it. Do more live streams and live up this one donations. Yeah, this one has given like 300, no, yeah, no, 300 something dollars in this stream. Completely crazy stuff. Um, yeah, so but I would be very uncomfortable if this one became like sort of my I don't want to say the word, but it involves sugar. So yeah, probably not. Wait, 30-second exposure, and the stars are almost round with no guiding on the strain wave gear mount. Wait a second, is that right? Is that right? Let's try again. Let's try again. Cuiv from Josh. Hey Cuiv, if the opportunity ever came up and you could move out of Tokyo, would you move to a dark sky area or not? Uh, so it also depends on my wife, right? So I'd love to, but my wife is I'm a very much of an introvert, and the less I'm physically with someone else, or someone that's not close to me, the better I feel. And my wife is the complete opposite. She's very social. She always needs to be with people. So I'm not sure that being away from Tokyo would be a great idea. And guys, we are getting round stars with 30-second exposures with this mount I'm testing. Uh, that's that shouldn't be the case. This is at 580 millimeters focal length. Huh, very interesting. I'm trying a 60-second exposure now to see what's going to happen. And yes, big love for this one. This one for president. Absolutely. Oh man, this one, you are amazing if you didn't realize yet. Oh, hello from Bordeaux, France. We have so many people from Europe today, and I love that. And we have some early risers from the US as well. Oh, this is awesome. Then that means it's fine-tuned, maybe. Maybe, I don't know, because strain wave should not be that precise. By default, you cannot, like, very interesting. I'll need to see what the guiding says. You are with, wait, are we at 195 people right now? Are we at 195 viewers? Wow, 197. What is going on here? That's insane. Oh wow, wow, yeah, that's absolutely incredible. This one for president, yes. Canada too, and Australia, also New Zealand, if I remember correctly, and all over the world, and also from Japan. Not just me. So this is amazing. It's a star party, exactly. Songuk, good name as well, Songuk. Yes, going back to Nina, we should have almost a one. Ah, there we go. 1 minute exposure. We're not getting round stars anymore. Okay, now I'm feeling better. That's much better. Okay, so PhD2, could you please choose some stars? Yes, perfect. And do a calibration. — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — — calibrate here. Just do it. We have someone from La Réunion. Jean, you're from La Réunion. That's awesome. The last time I was in La Réunion was when I was like 11 years old, and I still remember it. One of the things I remember most vividly from La Réunion is with my dad and my brother building what we called a château contre la mer, a castle, a sand castle that we built in a way that it would try to resist the rising tide for as long as possible. So that was quite awesome. And Sweden, Australia, England, Austin, Texas, Tampa, Florida, Ohio. So this one, the MVP, obviously the obvious MVP of this stream is from Ohio, and soon you all will be too. Okay, this one, you need to explain to us what's happening there. Ohio also means good morning in Japanese, which is perfect. And hello from Avignon. Sur le pont d'Avignon, on y danse. Pardon. Jean-Pierre, welcome and glad to see you from... Oh, you're still... Come on, Volkov. Thanks so much for joining. We have Volkov joining from Ukraine, Odessa. So yeah, please, big welcome to Volkov as well. Okay. There is a test there. Astroshed is saying, hello, Cuiv from... Is that Lite? Lite? Oh no! Should I try to pronounce this place name or not? Aubervilliers? That I can pronounce. Ireland? I can kind of pronounce. Leicester? Okay, I give up. I'm so sorry, Astroshed, but you're from the UK, and that is enough. Cuiv, you're a popular guy. It seems to Vero Beach, Florida. Okay, there. This one. It's been a joke here in the States. Ohio is taking over everything and soon the world. Okay, we'll see. Hi, Cuiv. Do you have a Discord server? When I manage to go full-time on YouTube, that's probably one of the first things that I'll set up. Okay, and we have some guiding going on. And the guiding is not awesome. But also we are at the very limit of the mount capacity. The mount is rated for 15 kilograms at 20 centimeters, and we have 15 kilograms at 25 centimeters. So we are actually above capacity, and this looks like wind. It looks like it can be, it could be guiding pretty well. I'm gonna try to have fun. Sorry, because the clouds are rolling in basically. Let's have a quick look at the camera to see what's happening. But yeah, you see those clouds, they're coming in, and they're coming in from the south. You know from the orientation of the telescope, but you're looking at the northwest with this camera angle. Jean-Christophe Beyer, bonjour depuis la France. Hello from France. Hello, Jean-Christophe, bonjour. Jean-Christophe, yes, I am indeed a native French speaker. If you guys want to, I can speak for the rest of the stream with a very French accent so that it's even more obvious that I'm French. But maybe I should not overdo it. You just let me know what I should be doing. I can do either. There, Astroshed. Do strain wave mounts have periodic error? So that's actually a very good question, because you can indeed see in the guide logs of strain wave gear mounts, you'll be seeing some periods when you do a Fourier transform or on your guide charts. But I think those are linked to the motor rather than the strain wave gear itself. And I believe that there is at least one manufacturer, Crux, with the Crux Traveler, that was effectively promising that their mount has permanent periodic error correction built in. And I don't think it makes sense for a strain wave gear itself, but for the motor and maybe the gears or whatever is in between the strain wave gear and the motor, it might make sense. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, the red cat is still parked. I'm sorry about that. Let's try and move the red cat somewhere. The red cat also has no narrowband filters. I have it on ASIAir now. Where should I go? Give me a broadband target that is relatively high in the sky from Tokyo. I'm looking at the tonight's best on the ZW thing. And there's not a lot of stuff that is high up in the sky in tonight's best right now. Should your algorithm on PhD2 be set to hysteresis? What is it set to right now? It is indeed set to hysteresis, so it should work like that. And I think in declination, it's a resist switch, as always. Question, which camera do you use on the balcony? This is the Wise Cam 3, I think. And it's kind of weird because by default, if you want to use it on a PC, you're supposed to pay for a subscription. So I kind of regret getting that. But apparently, Patriot Astro made a video on how to do it without that. And right now I'm using an Android emulator. So we have a suggestion, NGC3372. NGC3372. How do I search for stuff on there? I'm so not used to the ASIAir. Ah, there it is. Okay. NGC 3372. 72, the Keyhole Nebula. But it doesn't look like it's... Is it up? Like it doesn't appear on the list. Cuiv, your sky look like Bortle 9 to me, like mine in London. Yeah, going back to the live camera, and we're getting more and more clouds. Ugh. I need to slew this. You know what? I'm gonna slew to M51 as well because it's high in the sky, and that way we have 3 telescopes pointed to M51. So and we'll have some slewing going on. And I'm sorry that we're getting like towards more clouds, and I spent too much time getting the mounts. There, it's moving. I don't know why it's so exciting to see the mount moving on this camera. Again, it's the first time I use this camera, and it is also the first time I'm using this this microphone that I have in my pocket. And because, oh yeah, it's working, I'm not going to touch it. It's the first time I use those 2 mounts. It's the first time I use everything. Dave from Chicago, welcome, welcome. My throat is starting to kill me, by the way, so I might lower the sound of my voice. Yes, actually, that's a good point. I also had no idea that you could go above 100 in RA aggressiveness, and I learned it from Nook, from the Mio Astro or Proxy Sky. And yes, I am using Ryan. I am using the ASIAir on the setup in the background. So setup in the background here is the ASIAir, and setup in the foreground is Nina. Yes, exactly, Daniel. That's what I want to do. The get the firmware with RTSP, and then I should be able to use it on the computer without having to go through an Android emulator. So Beats and Tunes, actually, for now, everything has gone surprisingly well. The microphone has had its hiccups, but it worked really well across a fairly large distance and a lot of obstacles. The mounts are working and slewing well, and for at least one of them guiding well. And the camera has been working well. This is proof that we are testing high quality equipment, folks. So that's good. Let me see. We also have Dave from Sealy, Texas. Dave Jennings. Yes. Thanks for joining the stream. And Wise cameras are great. I have several of them. Okay, Ryan, that makes me feel better about it. And Dave Huff, I have Wise cameras all over my house and one dedicated to my scope. The night vision of these little cameras is awesome. Yeah, it is actually impressive. So I'm really happy, and we're getting so many more clouds. So I have M51 centered on the ASIair. I don't know if you can. Oh, I'll put the scene with me. There it is. M51 is centered in the ASIair. And so I am going to, what should I do now? I forgot how to use the ASIair. I think I should be guiding, right? So I am going to click on guide, and that should work. Start guiding. How do I tell the ASIair to do multi-star guiding? Oh, it's doing it. Okay, it's doing it automatically. So I guess if you select a star, it's going to do single star guiding, and otherwise it's multi-star guiding. Okay, and the guiding is, it needs to recalibrate. How do I tell? There, clear the calibration. Sorry, I'm fighting with this because it's the first time in ages that I'm using the ASIair. So the fact that it's even working at all, for me, is a miracle. So many miracles there. Aha, so, and just to let you know, Wise for a Fee allows you to use their web interface. Yeah, it's $2 per month, but it pains me to do so, right? It physically pains me to pay money for something that should not cost money. If you can, stream it over your local network, it doesn't cost them anything. Then, Cuiv, any thoughts on Nina supporting dual focusers? Any thoughts on Nina supporting dual focusers? So I have to ask for more information. What do you mean by dual focusers? Dual focusers? You mean connect to two focusers from a single instance of Nina at once? What's the use case? I wonder. Let me know. So jealous. You have clear skies. I have clear skies for another like 30 minutes. And I haven't seen a clear night for weeks as well. It's been very, very painful. And we have some guiding going on. Calibration is done. The guiding is going on, and we're getting good guiding results on the mount in the background. So let me show you the camera. We have the mount in the background is the UMI 17 Lite, and it is currently guiding on M51. The guide results at first were 0.7 arc seconds, but they're above 1 arc second now, 1.2. I need to increase the aggressiveness and maybe increase the frequency to 0.5 seconds to try and get that under control. Hopefully we can get better guiding results with the UMI 17 Lite. It's not looking super promising. So we'll see. I'll need to do, of course, longer tests with this mount. So I don't know how to pronounce your name. You asking, have you started imaging? And not really. And in the end, we're probably not really going to start imaging because the clouds are already rolling in, as you can see. So we're basically, what I've done is polar aligned the mounts. I've also adjusted like the off-axis guider on the mount in the background, on the scope in the background. And then I just wanted to start testing out those mounts. And now we have better guiding on the mount on the back is at 0.94, and the mounts in the front. Let's have a look at Nina. Sorry, at PhD2, 0.7 arc seconds guiding. That is actually excellent. To give you an idea, the mount that I have in the front there, it's a mount that was from a completely unknown brand. It's rated without counterweights for 15 kilograms, and we are at 15 kilograms and a bit further away from the axis of rotation than the spec, and yet it is guiding beautifully. So that's great to see. And the little mount in the background here, the UMI 17 Lite, I've increased the RA aggressiveness, and the declination aggressiveness is at the max. and it's guiding roughly at 0.8 arc seconds right now, which is, you know, very respectable as well. So things are doing well. And what? Miguel Ortiz, $10. Hope the clouds go away. Hi from Florida. That is awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, it means a lot. Like, you guys, it really makes the channel possible. So this is absolutely amazing. And yes, I hope the clouds go away, but unfortunately the forecast is kind of not saying that. So we'll see if we can expect better stuff. So to give a quick update, let's go. Oh, we had some wind there. We can see when there's wind by the guide graph going haywire. So I really like seeing that. So going back to Nina, this is, let's take a 60-second exposure of M51 this time. I'm just going to save it. That way we have it to look at later on. And what else? Yes. Oh, yes. What I also want to do is look at my second session and maybe take a 60-second exposure with the secondary telescope. Oh, no, first 1 second exposure and look at the focus. So again, if you're joining, we're probably, no, not probably, we're 100% not going to be able to do a proper imaging night because the clouds are rolling in. So it just ended up being basically testing the equipment, me doing polar alignment, and, you know, answering people on chat, which I think has been a lot of fun. Hi Cuiv, I get an error message in Nina. PhD2 warning, timed out. That is something I'm not sure what the reason could be. So PhD2 runs its own local server effectively that Nina connects to. It's via local IP and then the port that PhD2 uses. And so that error message sounds like it would be due to the disconnection to the server. So maybe PhD2 doesn't have access to enough resources to keep that server alive. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I'm sorry I can't really help there. Waiting. Oh, wait. Timed out waiting for guider to settle. Okay, so it's completely different. So if you have trouble with the guider settling, it's usually a problem not with PhD2, but either with your settings or with your mount. You have settings in PhD2. So if I go to PhD2 and look at the brains, and I look into guiding, actually not in PhD2, in Nina, sorry. I'm getting tired already. So if I look in Nina, and I think it should be under guider, you have the settle pixel tolerance here. And the settle pixel tolerance tells you like how many pixel is it acceptable after dither to consider the guiding to have been settled, that we are ready to image. And if this is too small of a value, then you'll get this kind of error message. And sometimes it's difficult for the mount to get back to the center of the guiding. And we're really getting wind because both the guide charts are going completely crazy. Yeah, lots of wind on the balcony. And yes, it could indeed be deck backlash. North-facing observatory, des francs suisses. 5 francs suisses. That's awesome as well. Thank you so much for the support. It's like so much support today on the channel. It's completely crazy. Guys, I say it a lot, but thank you so much. It really, actually, really, truly helps out. So it's amazing. James, hi, Cuiv, huge fan. Have you had any luck with HOO imaging? HOO imaging. HOO imaging, yeah. Yeah, I've had quite a bit of luck with HOO imaging in general. Not recently, because recently I've been cloud imaging. And it looks like we're going to be cloud imaging very soon based on this this live camera, unfortunately. But yeah, otherwise, definitely. David, focuser EF on my guide scope and one on the main scope. Now that makes sense. Is that potentially the focuser that Dark Sky Geek made for the guidescope or for the OAG? No, it's for guidescope, not OAG. Never mind. That's a good point. I think you should go on the Nina Discord and ask about that and put in a feature request. They also have a GitHub where you can put feature requests in there. Any advice on rig portable power batteries suitable for airline travel? So that depends on your budget. If you have a low budget, I think something like the Star Adventure GTI, even though I haven't tested it, would work well. If you have more of a budget, I think a mount that could be good for portability, you would want to go strain wave gear mounts. So if you have a lot of budget, it could be the RST 135. If you want something that is really small, you could have the ZWAM3. You could have this mount there in the background, which is the UMI 17 Lite. Even the mount in the foreground is just 4 kilograms, right? So that's great for travel. So unless you're budget limited, I would always recommend these days to go with a strain wave gear mount for travel, because you don't need counterweights. They're small, they're relatively light. You get a carbon tripod for them, and it's perfect rig. And any advice on rig portable power batteries suitable for airline travel? I'm sorry if I didn't read the question properly, and I think I'm getting tired, guys. No, I don't really have a suggestion. I know there's a limit on airline travel, and I had bought something on Amazon before, but it's no longer sold on Amazon, and it was at the limit. But if others have... Oh, Dave! Hey, Cuiv, I'm paying for 1 year of Wise Plus for your new webcam so you can live stream it. Dave, you the man. Okay, now I get it. I will get the Wise subscription so I don't need to use that weird Android emulator. Also, there's a bug there on the side of the balcony. Hello, little bug. Hello. Hello there. So Dave, thank you so much for that. You're already supporting me on Patreon, man. Come on. Amazing support again. Thank you so much. And guys, I think we're going towards the end of the night, and maybe towards the end of the stream, because we're really starting to get more and more clouds. That's a bit of a bummer though, but I wanted to do more imaging, but it's just not happening. We're getting some good guiding though overall, and at least we saw M51 from Tokyo. That's a single 60-second exposures, guys. So that's good. And limit tends to be 100 watt hours for batteries, yeah. So 100 watt hours, and I had like a battery called World Play or something like that. So yeah, apparently there are some, but they're not quite the capacity that I want. So I don't really have good suggestions. And the Renogy battery that I use, that is relatively small and light, is above capacity for airline. Whew. Okay. So quick updates on the mounts. The UMI 17 Lite in the background here is guiding at 0.9 arc seconds. Which is pretty decent. And the MCAN Astro EM31 Pro that I'm testing for the very first time today is performing really well in terms of guiding. Let's take another 60-second exposures to see if we have clouds, but it's at its upper limit of payload, and it's still guiding at below 0.7 arc seconds. That's absolutely amazing. I'm very impressed. And Athanasia, thanks, Cuiv. Hope you do this again. I definitely will. This is far too much fun to not do it again. Clouds just stink. Thank you for sharing this, Cuiv. Appreciate your time and all the work you do for the astrophotography community. Thanks so much, David. Okay, guys, sorry, I need to answer a text message from my dear wife. Give me a second. Okay, Nosda, that's Welsh for good night. That's awesome. Clouds just stink. Yes, clouds stink. I've been having clouds for so long in Tokyo. I mean, very often we get good days, but then the nights are horrible. Oh, and by the way, I took an exposure here as well. Oh yes, I wanted to do autofocus there before the clouds come in on my second scope of the Frankenscope. We're looking at M51. So yeah, this is a good reference. This is a single subframe of 60 seconds from Tokyo, right? And surprisingly, from Tokyo, you can see the core of both galaxies and you can see some of the spiral arms as well. And I can even like kind of guess the arm that links the two galaxies together. And I think it looks quite cool, quite amazing. But like, tell me, what does 1 minute exposure look like from where you are in like less light polluted areas? I'd be very interested to learn that. Whew. Okay. So yeah, the clouds are rolling in more and more. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. This is the end. This is the end, guys. We're done for. That is so sad. But we've had so many viewers in this stream, and I'm sorry we didn't achieve anything except subframes of M51 and playing with mounts. But we've had a peak of what, 207 viewers at the peak. That is absolutely insane. Hey Cuiv, have you tested out the UMI 17 from Proxy Sky? So this mount, the mount is the background, is the UMI 17 Lite from Proxy Sky. So I am testing it right now, live with you guys, which is insane and amazing. Then Astro Mushroom, good name. I like that name. Thanks for sharing, Cuiv. Love all your work. Good night from Australia, Aussie. Good night, mate. Thanks so much for joining. Hello, Cuiv, from the other side of the planet, from Two Rivers Observatory. And it's a shame that I do not know how to pronounce the word observatory. Obzi. I'll call it Obzi. Two Rivers Obzi. Hi, Cuiv. What do you think about Antlia quad band filter to eliminate light pollution? So there was actually a question earlier about the Optolong quad filter that I glanced, I think. So let me someone asked me, what do you think of the Optolong quad filter? So I'll answer that first, because I think the Optolong quad filter, I looked at it quickly, like the L quad, right? L quad enhanced filter. And I looked at the band passes. I'm like, what's the difference between this and a CLS CCD filter? I don't get it. So that's where I'm like, I'm not sure I'm thinking any. Oh, wow. $10 again? Thank you so much. It's so much generosity all around. And that's amazing. Hunter Uten, you're spoiled by your Bortle 3.5 skies, that's for sure. I'm so jealous. And I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. Realeki. Thank you so much for the support. Astrography loves astrography with zestful youthfulness. Thank you. I feel young again now. I am still young, but it's I'm not getting any younger by the day. So yes. So we have this L quad enhanced filter. I'm not too sure about it. Whenever I see a bandpass like this, I think I'd probably be using a simple UV IR cut instead. I don't think it's worth it, especially with LED lights whose spectrum is in that huge, big bandpass here in the middle. So that's my initial impression without knowing much. about it. And then someone else asked about the Antlia quad filter somewhere. So let me search for Antlia quad filter. So I guess that's it. There we go. And this one, I see. It's one of those with sulfur 2, oxygen 3, H beta, and N2. No, not, is that N2? Yes, that's N2. But then we also have infrared. Huh, that's interesting. So that looks like a very interesting filter, but you know what? Whenever, and this is something that I never really understand. Why do we have this H beta bandpass? What's the point? Because H beta is physically, it's just a different energy transition that requires more energy than H alpha, but it's emitted by the same atoms as the ones that emit H alpha. So H beta is always going to be a weaker copy of H alpha. Since we already have H alpha, why are we opening up a gap in the blue spectrum where light pollution is the strongest for light pollution to creep in? I don't get it. I never get it. I get it for visual, but not for astrophotography. So I would prefer to not have this bandpass and to just have like oxygen 3. Wait, H beta, where is it? Is it there or there? I don't remember, but wherever it is. But I would prefer to not have like H beta, regardless of where it is. Okay, we're gonna slowly start wrapping up. Yes, it's begging for a torture test. I've actually been testing another filter recently, so yeah, you can probably see that I've been having fun with another filter, but this one is for an upcoming video. And yes, Dave, that's a good point. Agena will be carrying Warp Astron mounts very soon. So that's great news, and I've already started adding links to my video descriptions to the Agena site. Up to now, like this Warp Astron mount has been incredible for me. And on an unrelated subject, I'm already loving the mount that I'm using tonight. Sorry, let me iconize this this mount there because it's working really well on this first night. Yeah, you're right, Danielle. I'm sorry, this was not H beta. It was UV light, and sometimes H beta is included in a separate bandpass. In this case, it was just a wider bandpass that also happened to be included H beta. Thanks for the correction. That's a very, very good point. Fast star for Newtonians. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna pass on the fast star for Newtonians for now because it sounds far too complicated. Yeah, Ryan, I agree with you. H beta is probably more useful from a scientific view than making pretty pictures. Have you ever tried to use your Dwarf 2 with this tool? What tool? Sorry, I'm really getting actually tired. I can feel myself getting more tired, and so I'm making more and more mistakes like the one I did with H beta bandpass placement. So I'm sorry about that. You know what? I'm gonna start putting the telescopes back home. I think we did an autofocus there. I'm still going to try and take like a 30-second exposure with the secondary scope. And where is M51 on the secondary scope? I'm not sure. Maybe the scopes are completely out of line now for whatever reason. But once we've taken this 30 seconds exposure, I'll be placing the mounts back home, and we'll be slowly spooling down this this stream, which has been a huge amount of fun. Let me see. Cuiv, have you ever used a Ritchie-Chrétien scope before? I've been debating on one for close-ups on galaxies and planetary nebulae. So no, I have never used an RC telescope. if you do get one, my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the RC6 and the RC8 have what effectively is a design flaw that makes them near impossible to collimate correctly. Now, I'm not sure this is the feedback that I've seen on Cloudy Nights, because I had considered those scopes in the past and then just like abandoned the thought. Oh wow, dwarfium. I didn't even know that existed. Dwarfium for controlling your dwarf 2. Oops, yeah. Firefox dwarfium. Interesting, I hadn't heard of it. No, suddenly, no, that's not dwarfism. Dwarfium, please. Come on, Google. Oh no, okay, no, I'm closing this. I'll look at it later. Advice for amateur spectroscopy. I haven't really done amateur spectroscopy, so I don't have any advice. Oh, we got our 30-second exposures, but I think we are officially fully in the clouds now. So yeah, let me go back to my first instance of Nina, and I am going to tell Nina to get the mount home, because we are now in the clouds. These were 2 hours of roughly clear skies, the first 2 hours in a very long time in Tokyo. So it was nice while it lasted, but it is now done, and the forecast is not for those clouds to disappear. So yeah, unfortunate. And I need to go back into the ASIAir app and also tell the mount there to go back home and also stop the guiding, because the guiding is going haywire because of the clouds. So mount, go home. And okay, and we should see it start moving. I love those cameras. This is the first time this is the 20th time I say it in this stream, but it's the first time I use this camera to monitor the scopes, and it's a game changer. Why didn't I do that sooner? Whew. Okay, let me okay, we are now back home with both telescopes, and both telescopes are now polar aligned, so I do not need to do any further polar alignments later on. The scope in the background is on an UMI 17 Lite mount, which I will be testing more when I have more clear skies. And the mount in the foreground is a brand that you guys have not heard of. I hadn't when they contacted me, called EMCAN, E-M-C-A-N. I think if you search for EMCAN Astro, it will come up. For now, first impression of this mount, testing it today for the very first time. Yeah, it's impressive. It's at its max payload, still guiding at 0.7 arc seconds, and it weighs 4 kilograms. The tripod is also the optional tripod that comes with the mount, and the polar adjustment is beautiful. There are no locks that need to be used, so I like that. Okay, so let me look at the chat so we can so I can answer the questions before we slowly start stopping the stream. So I'll go to live chat. There we are. And what's this? Oh yeah, okay. So that's an old chat. Ah, what is happening? There we go. So what are we seeing? Interesting to watch some lazy geekage live. It's my first time. Welcome. Thanks for joining. We're slowly like spooling down. I'm getting tired and I'm making more and more mistakes. So yeah, please be aware of that. Ryan is saying, I'm about to try setting up an RC6 for my local Astrophotography society. I may share my experience. That's awesome, Ryan. Fingers crossed it works out for you. I know there's a lot of threads on Cloudy Nights about that, so hopefully you'll get some feedback on that. And it will be, so Dwarfium, that software will be compatible with the Dwarf 3. That's awesome. I'm really hoping that I can get Dwarf Lab to send me a Dwarf 3 for review. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, I'll probably buy one because it looks really nice. And it's on GitHub, Dwarfium. Okay, I'll look on GitHub for it. I've been I've been playing with code, but for something completely unrelated. Okay, what else? Similar to AM5 mount, you have to use home via the park option. Park on AM5 is not the same as home. Exactly, David. That's absolutely right. I haven't used the park feature of my mount for ages. I just use home. And nice, new entries in the harmonics market. Yes, more competition is always awesome. And it's one of the reasons that I like to feature lesser known brands on the channel, because if they have a good product and they can basically become bigger as a brand and as a maker, then we get more competition, which means better price for us, more choice. It's all good for us. Plus, I love the underdogs, so that's what I would like. So the name is the MCAN Astro EM31 Pro. I'm putting it in the chat. The Umi, it's the second night. I've actually used it very briefly for 30 minutes to 1 hour before. And for now, it's doing okay. But the guiding is roughly like 0.9 arc seconds, kind of flirting with 1. And I was hoping it would be slightly better, especially that I haven't really overloaded it. And it's on my super robust tripod. So I'll see, because I like with today, and the last time I tried it very briefly, it was maybe like 1 hour total of testing max. So I need to test this some more. Plus, I'm using it with the ASIAir, and I feel like I want the full version of PhD2 with access to all of the options before I make a judgment there. And while I'm at it, let's look at, so as Dave mentioned earlier, Agena Astro is soon going to carry the Warp Astron mounts, which is great. They're expensive, I mean, especially the WD-20 that I have, but man, is the W20 good. I haven't tested the 17, so I can't speak for it. And the one that I'm testing right now is probably EMCAN Astro, should come up. Yeah. Hopefully. Yes, that's the one. And some design problem on their website. Yes, it's basically slightly more expensive than an AM5, but it is lighter, and the build quality on it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, I'll do a full review on that later on, just so you know what I'm using. And the other one we're using is the Umi 17 Lite, which is this one. Or actually, I think the better site would be this Proxy Sky or Meow Astro. And yeah, that's the one we're testing with the Red Cat. It's a very interesting design in that the main body of the mount, this part here, can be detached from the wedge. And so if you only need to do, like, you want to bring the mount for visual only, there's a screw hole at the back of the mount. I don't know if they have a picture, they don't. But the red part has a hole for a 3/4 of an inch, or 3/8 of an inch tripod, so you could just plop it down on a tripod and use it in Alt as for visual. It's a really cool concept. So those are the two mounts that I've been calibrating, effectively polar aligning tonight. And yes, don't worry guys, I still have my Warp Astron. It's not going anywhere because it's an excellent mount. Yeah, hello, I see that the weather is the same as in Poland. Yeah, it's cloudy now. Is there a cheap and nice astrograph? Is there a cheap and nice astrograph? Well, there's quite a few cheap and nice astrographs, but it depends on what you mean by cheap. We have, what do we have? Let me switch to my main cam. But in terms of astrograph, I think a cheaper one, especially if you get it used, could be something like the Samyang 135mm f2 lens, or the Rockinon version. They're the same thing. And it's great for beginners because it's very wide field, yet it is a good lens. It's very fast. You can put it on something like the Star Adventurer GTI very easily. And you can, there's tons of them used that you can buy from non-astrophotographers as well. So it's a good, cheap astrograph, or cheap for the hobby astrograph. In France, I just saw that Piero Astro started selling the Warp Astron. That's awesome. I'm so happy to see underdogs getting into the main markets. I remember when I was like one of the only ones to be using Taupe Tech cameras, and I had bought them, and they worked well, and now they're all over the place, and I love that. It's good for us to have competition. Very, very good for us. And reminder, if you are planning on buying anything from Agena or Amazon even, or High Point Scientific, if you use the links in my video descriptions, it helps me out at no cost to you. I'm so sorry about that. I've had so much support in this stream. It's been absolutely amazing. Okay, I think I am soon. Yeah, Agena is starting with the Warp Astron as well, which is really great. And I will soon sign off because yeah, going back to the camera on the rooftop, yeah, it could be better weather. It is no longer such great weather, unfortunately. It was good. It was good while it lasted, so that was nice. And I feel like almost a professional streamer, like switching between cameras like that. And yes, I think I'm gonna say good night to all of you guys. I think we are seeing fewer and fewer questions there. Oh wait, what monitor do you use to process photos? Is it a 10 or 8 bits? So that's a great question. My monitor is a widescreen monitor, and it is 8-bit, and it is terrible, and it is not a good monitor for processing images. You know, I think from initial reviews, okay, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to give a bit of background. One, I am not an Apple hater, but I don't like Apple products in general because I don't like macOS and I don't like iOS. I find them hard to use, even though I'm used to Linux. So that's weird. But from what I've seen, the reviews of the latest iPads with the M4 chip, apparently the screen of those iPads is extremely color accurate, which means that it could be a great possibility to maybe not, you know, process the images directly on the iPad, although it would be nice if we could run macOS on there rather than iOS, but at least double check your image once you've processed them on that screen. So I'm wondering if that could be an option there, because apparently they have really good really good screens. So yeah, my monitor, let me show it to you briefly. Hopefully you can see it. It's this thing here. It's a Huawei widescreen monitor, and it's not the best, but it was relatively cheap and curved and widescreen. Asking the Cuiv master itself, should I get EQ5, EQ5 or EQM35? I use a Newtonian. Ha! How much does the EQ5 cost? Let me have a look. So let's go on Agena. And we're gonna go on Agena and we're gonna search for the EQ5. Oops, I don't see, there it is. Maybe that's what you're referring to? Or is it the HEQ5? The HEQ5, probably that one is what you're referring to. And the EQM35. Let's look at the EQM35. Let's see. Oh, wow, that's much cheaper, but you're going to use a Newtonian. Assuming it's a 6-inch, I think it would be undermounted on that. You're better off with the HEQ5 if possible. But at that price, you can also get the AM3 from ZW, or you can get the UMI 17 or the UMI 17 Lite. Those are strain wave gear mounts, and they will be much easier to use, I would say, with a Newtonian than even the HEQ5. I honestly think that if the budget allows these days, those strain wave gear mounts are the way to go in general. They've been really getting better and better. Okay, what else do I see? How do you manage staying up at night to take pictures and your day job? So, Depayan, I am lazy. I start a sequence in Nina, which usually for me is one drag and drop and then clicking the play button. And then I go to bed. And then Nina does everything automatically. So I don't need to stay up at night. Although it's already like 10:15 p.m. So I'll soon wind down this stream. Then you can use an iPad as a second screen on your Mac. Gustavo, that's a great thing. So that would be awesome. That means the newer iPads, which based on the tests from the Linus Media Group labs, has great color accuracy, could be a great monitor for processing. Should I upgrade to a 12-inch RC telescope? Currently I have an 8-inch Newt. No, you shouldn't upgrade. If you're going to buy the 12-inch RC, you should also keep the 8-inch Newt, so you have the two focal lengths available to you. I personally would keep it, if it's either or, I would keep the Newt, unless you have money burning your pocket, and yeah, it's kind of up to you. What else? I recently bought a Pro ATR from Asus, and the difference in processing and appearance of old photos is huge. Yeah, I think I need to buy a monitor, but I don't really have the budget for that now. I'll need to check with the CFO a better monitor. Okay, and TPS photography, wait, I mean EQ5 Pro. So let's look at EQ5 Pro. This, I guess. Ah, I see. So I'm really sorry about that, TPS Pro, but can I answer neither? I mean, it will work, but the EQM35 is rated for how much of a payload? The EQM is where's the payload? Payload capacity 22, whatever this unit is, 22 9.9, so roughly the same. I cannot answer that. I do not know. But I think that with either of them and a Newtonian, you are asking to be frustrated. With a refractor, yes. With a Newtonian, possible, but could be frustrating. So brace yourself for it, even 6-inch. Okay, what else? Can I photograph the Sombrero Galaxy with a 400mm focal length? I don't know, but you can do I don't know, Sombrero. What's the Messier number? M104. So we can go to something simple like astronomy.tools, and we can check the field of view there, right? So field of view calculator, we're going to search for M104. We're going to say that your scope is custom with a focal length of 400mm. And let's say you have, we're in imaging mode, you have a very standard beginner camera like the 533 MC Pro. There it is. And we're going to add to view. And that's how it's going to look like. So it's going to be very small in your field of view, but it is visible. That's how you can tell whether you can photograph an object with a given focal length and given sensor. And what's important as well is your resolution per pixel. And for that, I have some good videos on the topic. So check the channel for videos about resolution and field of view. I have a Celestron C6 with Hyperstar and ASIAir. Is it worth upgrading to a strain wave mount? So if the mount is working for you, don't change it. Like unless the mount frustrates you, you have issues with it, or you want to be able to get it, take it with you on travel, don't change your mind. And that's the rule in general with your equipment. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm kind of forced to fix things all the time because I have to review equipment. So my setup is always like in flux. But if you can avoid having a setup in flux, it's much better. What else? Yeah, I see about like the MacBook Pro M3 and the good monitor. I really like the hardware of the MacBooks. It's just like the iOS gets on my nerves, something crazy. So it's impossible for me to use it, especially with multiple monitors and multiple windows. I don't know why the window management is so painful to me. You need to use third-party tools, etc. Telescope Express said 7 kilogram would be what they recommend as well. The EQM35 is cheaper. If I wanted to buy the Umi, I should buy from Discord or AliExpress, and I'm quite skeptical on those. So Umi, I think they're starting to go and have like a better shop. So soon it's going to be a bit better than that. I think Umi, at least they have a lot of users abroad, and I think the very first user of Umi outside of China was Dark Archon from Nina fame, so one of the main developers of Nina at the time. But yeah, I understand the issue. Philip, do you think the harmonic drive mounts will be the future and replace the older mounts? Yes, simply enough, yes. Um, I the only thing will be the lack of precision for unguided imaging, but I feel like with high precision encoders, you can still do unguided imaging with harmonic drive mounts, as long as you don't have like too much of a jump right in your guiding. So yeah, I think they will be the future, although standard worm gear mounts are here to stay as well because they do have some advantages, especially with unguided imaging or guiding when you need long guide exposures. Can I get good results with the C star if I just use Cyril from PXW? Yes. So if you search for Cyril C star script, there is a script and tutorial directly on the Cyril page. And that's something I've been meaning to do for the channel, but I need to first capture some raw frames from the C star to be able to demonstrate it. But I want to do a video following the script and tutorial on how to stack your images in Cyril, and then you can follow a workflow like the one I presented on the channel last week to do your processing, and you should be able to get decent results, especially if you're in a dark area. Okay, what else? I image with a 200p on an old EQ5, but it has stronger motors than the EQ5 Pro. That's weird that the Pro would have worse motor than the non-Pro. Works just fine, but I'm still looking to improve things with a smaller, lighter 130 PDS. Now that is great to hear that it works just fine. I am tainted in my experience in that I'm used to having very strong winds on my Tokyo balcony, and so even the best mounts they just get destroyed by the wind that I have on my balcony. What's the best time in the year for astrophotography in Japan? Visiting next year in September. September is actually a good season in general for visiting Japan. You no longer have the super hot days and nights of summer. You have typically the weather starts to be pretty nice, including at night, and you have fewer tourists as well. It's pretty cool. So yeah, September is a good time to come. My Star Adventure GTI has a payload capacity of 5 kilograms. Can I use a 5.5 setup? No. I mean, yes, you can. Is it going to be a pleasant experience? No. Yeah, the Star Adventure GTI, it's the strain wave gear mounts. Typically, you can use them to their rated capacity. This the mount that I have in the foreground on my balcony there, as soon as I can iconize this. Give me a sec to iconize Firefox. There we go. The mount I have in the foreground there is rated for 15 kilograms at 20 centimeters from the axis of rotation. We're using it with roughly 15 kilograms even further away from the axis of rotation, and it's worked flawlessly. If I had a Skywatcher mount, that's not a strain wave gear mount, that's a standard worm gear, and it was rated for 15 kilograms, I would not dare use it with more than 10 in general. I could, and it would work, but the guiding would probably be very frustrating. But that's, again, from my point of view, running things from a balcony where, you know, I have a lot of wind. Okay, what else do we have in there as I'm wrapping up? Get some monitors to test from suppliers. Chuck, that is actually a great idea. I should try to reach out to monitor suppliers and say like, hey, I want to do a review from an astrophotography processing standpoint. Huh, I had never thought of that. I need to write it down. Astro monitors. Huh, yes, absolutely. I'll check it out. Good idea. Ah, I see. DIY on-step kits. That makes sense. Got it. Okay. What else? How much does the CPU on top, the computer on top of the Newt weigh? My gripe with the Eagle is that the weight adds up to the rig. And the Eagle, the weight will be on top of the scope, so further away from the axis of rotation. Or if you place it under the scope, typically it moves the scope further away from the axis of rotation. So it's like double lose. But the Melee Quieter 3 and 4, they're like 300 grams, 400 grams. They weigh nothing. The StellarMate Pro is probably 500 grams. So both of them less than 1 kilogram. Philip, thanks for the posting, Cuiv. I enjoyed the show. Thanks for joining. I really need to stop taking questions because I really need to go to bed for my work tomorrow. Do you ever travel outside of Tokyo to access darker skies? Yes, and I always fail. So I've traveled several times to access darker skies, and I ended up in not clouds, but mist. Because in Japan, if you want to access darker skies, typically it means you go in the mountains. And the mountains, they're more prone to mist, and then I wasn't able to image. So, yeah. But, you know, people manage. There are some people who actually go to Mount Fuji on days where it's going to be cloudy, and the clouds are going to be below the top of Mount Fuji and below the parking of the 5th station of Mount Fuji, so that the cloud layer blocks all of the light pollution from Tokyo, but you still have access to the starry skies. Maybe I should do that sometime. Okay. Then overloading a mount can have mixed results. I have a 13 kilograms payload on HEQ5. It copes, but only just, and wind plays havoc with the guiding. Yeah, it would. By the way, have you seen the Plaintive telescopes? A dream for every astrophotographer. I don't know what those are. Plaintive telescopes. I don't know what they are. Hey, Cuiv, go to bed. Yes, Busload UK. And thanks for your support earlier, by the way. I haven't forgotten. Yeah, I need to go to bed. Hey, hello, Cuiv. When using OAG or ZWA, I have to recalibrate? If you rotate the guide camera, yes. If you rotate just the main camera, no. How does this work with motorized rotators? By the way, thanks for your nice videos. Yeah, I mean, if the rotator is leaving the OAG alone, so that from the OAG doesn't care about the main camera as long as it's in focus. The OAG just cares about its sensor in relation to the mouse. As long as that is untouched, then you're fine. At least that's my tired mind hypothesis or assumption at this stage. I have a new problem trying to image near Chicago. Smog. Yeah, I feel you, mate. David, that's... Oh, plane wave. Okay, I'll look at it later because I need to go to bed. Plane wave telescopes. Plane wave. Yes, of course. The CDK scopes. Yeah, those are insane. Okay, can you do a StellarMate tutorial at some point, please? Okay, I'll think about that. I've managed an Edge HD with a dual saddle and Skywatcher 80 ED with cameras and filter pro. Oh wow, on an HEQ5 Pro, that is amazing. And yes, he means plane wave, the plane wave CDK scopes, right? Like the crazy stuff. Yummy. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind getting that. That would be nice. Casual, very casual astrophotography. By the way, on Friday, I will publish a review of Telescope Live that does have plane wave telescopes in like Spain and Chile and somewhere else. I don't remember where. So I'm not able to use them directly, but still, it's fun. What is your attitude towards renting equipment to take photos under a better sky? Personally, I'm not a fan because it's not my equipment and I do not feel that it's my material. Oh, from a kind of a copyright point of view, did I make this myself? Yeah, running equipment remotely, yeah, it's not the same thing. And most like competitions like Cloudy Nights or things like that, they require you to own your own equipment, which I think makes sense. But there is merit in remote astrophotography for sure, and being able to process images taken from far away while enduring the cloudy skies in Tokyo has been really nice. I wouldn't claim credit for the images besides the processing that I did, but I've personally never done astrophotography for competition or APOD or any of that. I don't really care about that. It's just having fun for me, myself, and I. So in that case, yeah, I don't really care if I'm having fun with the processing. I'm having fun with the processing, which is okay. Yeah, a TAC guide scope. So we have like the main scope, the TAC guide scope, and then like a tiny little cute guide scope on top. This is fun. Oh, David, go to bed and giving me a donation. So yeah, I need to go to bed, guys. So thank you so much for all of this support, David. Thank you so much. Everyone who has contributed in this stream, obviously, huge thank you. It's been amazing. And yeah, I can't thank you enough. And for everyone who joined or who is watching now, on replay after the live, thanks for spending the time. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And sorry, I'm starting to ignore the questions. I see them, but it will have to wait for next time. So everyone, thanks again so much joining the stream. It's been a huge amount of fun for me. Let me go to my main camera actually. There we go. It's been a huge amount of fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you too as well. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm gonna wish you good night. Thanks again for all the supports. Very much appreciated. And yeah, the next video I'm planning to release it on Friday night. So yeah, look forward to it, guys. And yeah, I know a lot of you are going to work, are in the afternoon at work, are also going to bed, like in Australia and New Zealand. So good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Cheers, guys, everyone. Thanks so much. I'm gonna end the stream momentarily. Thanks again, and yeah, I'll do it again. So don't worry, you'll catch me live again, I'm sure. Good night, oyasumi nasai, and bonne nuit.